What's the scoop on Devin Booker for the Suns?
With a mild hamstring strain, you're usually looking at 7 to 10 days. That puts him out definitely through games 3 and 4, possibly 5. The back end of that type of a timetable puts you out in jeopardy of the series. So that's really the type of timeline that you're looking at for a mild hamstring strain. I would expect Devin Booker to continue to get treatment over the rest of the weekend, into early next week, and hopefully have a better sense of when he can target a return.
So then they'll have to maybe dispatch with the Pelicans without Booker, and that would be, one would assume, a much more troublesome task if Zion Williamson returns. What's the deal with him? Do you think the Pelicans, what better time to unwrap him than in front of the home folks with an opportunity to go up 2-1 on the Suns? What do you think?
Yes, Zion's been doing more and more on the court, doing controlled 5-on-5. He's been getting out there on the floor. We've seen the highlights of him dunking, but there's no expectation of him returning in this series and really in this playoffs. I think they want to make sure he is 100% healthy before a return. So clearly he just has not been fully cleared to resume full basketball as far as being in a game environment, playing in a game, and there's not really an expectation that will come. But to me, it is positive that he's out there, he's doing more, but I think it is a goal of obviously the Pelicans, of that organization, to make sure when he does come back to the floor, given what's happened the last year, the foot fracture in the summer, everyone thought he'd be ready for game 1 of the season. He wasn't. The multiple setbacks that he's endured. They want to make sure when they bring him back, he is 100% healthy.
So I'll just put a fine point on it here by asking this question. You can only use 2 adjectives. Here I am forcing a guy who writes to use. You can only use 2 adjectives, Shams, okay? This Zion situation, injury situation, is either cautious or weird. What is it? Cautious or weird? You can only use one of those 2 words to describe it.
I would probably lean toward cautious. I'm sure. Listen, but I mean, it could be both, right? Like it could be both. I think it could be weird because when you look at it, the expectation was he was going to play game 1 of the regular season. That did not happen. He had multiple setbacks, and he's finally out there on the floor now.
Yeah, he looks great, man. He looks great.
I think if it was up to Zion, and I think his stepdad came out and said it publicly recently. If it was up to Zion, he would be out there playing. But health and clearance and making sure that you have a consistent level of play in terms of 5-on-5 and real contact work before you get out there, making sure your conditioning is 100%. Those are all factors that will determine when and where he comes back.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.